Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I would like to wrap up my video about Sharon. So this is going to be Sharon's part 2. This is how Sharons react to Exoticals leveling up part 2. So since I recorded part 1, I was talking to another Exotical here on YouTube. I believe her new handle is Mulata. I'm going to check and I'm going to leave her down below. But we were basically talking about Sharon, and she came up with the term anti-archetype. So the Sharon is basically going to represent, is going to be a representation of the type of woman that you strive every day to be less like. And she coined the term your anti-archetype. So I just wanted to share that before I continue on with the ways that Sharons will react to your level up. So the first one for this video is going to be that they will try to set you up with someone, and don't think that this is a good thing. So, because the thing is, they're not going to set you up with someone that you'd be good with, especially if you are the type of woman who's like decentering men and everything and really just pouring into yourself and having a lower level of stress. Sharons would like to see you stressed out about a relationship. And so they'll try to set you up with someone who just fundamentally is not your preference. Like, let's say you guys have talked about what you want. It's not going to be like, oh, well, you said you like tall guys, so let me set you up with a tall guy. It'll be like, you said you want to date hypergamously. You said you want a old, ugly man, and they're trying to set you up with a Dusty that's the same age as you or something like that. Just like, why? What would you, what reason do you have to be setting me up with this person? And this is not the type of person who's just qualified to pair people up because, they're so successful themselves and they're always setting people up and then they last for forever. Like, they just have nothing better to do. And another reason that they want to set you up with someone is they want you to have less free time to invest in yourself. So when you're in a relationship, you're dealing with a man, especially this man who is not compatible with you, you're going to be exerting so much energy on trying to, like most relationships, if you ever have a fight that keeps coming up and it never gets resolved, that's a sign of two things. One or both partners really struggles with conflict resolution. But two, likely there is a fundamental incompatibility between you two, which is why you keep arguing about the same things. You guys value different things. You want different things out of life. You have different opinions about really big life altering things. And so you keep fighting about that same stuff. Sharons want to distract you from your goals when you start leveling up. So they will try to, sprinkle a dusty. They'll try to drop some dust your way. And, if you're smart, you will deflect it. But number 2, the second thing that Sharons will do as a reaction to an exotical leveling up is they will speak negative spells over your plans. So just shut your mouth, lie, or give fake updates. Exoticals United talks about selective authenticity. So like, you can you can really employ whatever technique you want whenever. You can just, if somebody asks you an intrusive question, you can just say like, oh, I don't really want to talk about that. Or you could always just lie. Like, oh, who's going to stop you from lying? Who's got a lie detector on you? If you don't want to talk to jealous women or level down women about leveling up because that it's not like in the exotical community where one of us starts talking about leveling up and we're like, oh yeah, that's great, you're doing this is what I'm doing, you got this, girl, congratulations, keep going, I'm proud of you. Like, we're uplifting each other for leveling up because a lot of us share that as a common goal, no matter what the different ways that may manifest as far as our different goals. But with a Sharon, you don't want to talk about your plans with them because they're not a financial advisor. They're not a relationship coach. They're not a spirituality coach. They're not a religious leader. They're just some hating, jealous woman. Like, there's no reason to talk about your plans with them unless you want people to speak negativity, try to discourage you, spread your business all over the place, So that's the second thing they'll do. The third thing that they will do when you start leveling up is they will get jealous of the male attention you receive. So, I know that on this channel, everybody is different. Some girls are, casually dating. Some girls are hypergamously dating. Some girls are not dating. Some girls are married. Some girls are, there's whatever, all the things. Some of the girls don't date men. But when you start leveling up, you're largely going to receive male attention just as a byproduct, not even intentionally. And Sharons don't really like this. Like, as you are starting to put more time into yourself, as you're taking more social risk by trying new hairstyles, new nail colors, to eat new foods, to speak new languages, to know about new things, to contribute more diverse things in conversation, you're going to get attention largely from male. I mean, if you're an exotical, you're already used to getting male attention. But when you are really leveling up and investing in yourself and not being male centered, you are going to attract their attention more, because all that time that you're putting into yourself, like, instead of focusing on a guy, if instead you're investing in your weight loss journey, you're investing in your skincare, you're investing in your hair, your style, decorating your apartment or starting a side hustle or whatever it is, you're going to be progressing further in life. And a lot of times those accomplishing different things, goals that you set for yourself, are going to give you a glow. So even if, let's say your goal is to achieve something in your personal life that you're taking care of, at home, and people don't know about it, as you're achieving it, you're going to have more of a pep in your step. You're going to be more confident because you're going to feel competent that you've gotten things done. And then other things, like, let's say you have a goal that's like beauty or appearance related or something like that, that would be something that people can physically see. If it's something as far as like just diversifying your interests and the things that you're knowledgeable about, people will hear that. And Sharons don't like to see you getting that attention. So, for example, like, if a man is telling you a story and he clearly had no intention of telling her, like, this will happen. This has happened to me so many times, where a man is like, oh, why world, I have to tell you a story. Like, oh, you'd love this. Let me tell you this. It'll be like a girl in a whole nother area, room, or whatever, doing nothing but listening in on the conversation. And she's like yelling, like, wait, I missed it. And it's like, duh, of course you missed it, because he was not trying to tell you. But stuff like that, like, they will try to butt in, and like, it's always awkward, because it's like the natural flow of like me. Let's, like, okay, if somebody has a joke to tell or a story to tell, they're gonna tell whoever. Like, in the exoticals Discord, like, if I have something that I feel like a specific other exotical I know will enjoy, I'll say at so and so. But if it's something that I want, I want it to catch it, I want everybody to hear it, I want it to be a catch all, I'll say to everyone, I'll put a blast out to everyone. And men are always starting things with women, because it's like they can't help who they're interested in, who they want to pay attention to. They can't help that the next woman's going to feel some type of way about that. But Sharons will just make it awkward by interrupting the flow and wanting to get in between conversations where they just weren't really invited. Like, I'm not the type of person who wants to exclude people, but it's just it's hard. It's a tricky situation. And so they will try to butt in. If a man's telling you a story or giving you some sort of attention or whatever, they're going to just always want to insert themselves in the conversation. It's almost like they're babysitting you. Like, I don't know. It's like they want to, I don't know. They like want to observe the conversation, be a part of it, take it over. They don't want it to just be you and the man. I don't understand that. But okay, the next thing that they will do as a reaction to you leveling up, they will try to publicly humiliate you. And I'm just going to tell you right here before I keep explaining this, so you don't forget, most important thing, if you remember nothing else from this video, is when they do certain things, you need to call them out. I know everybody has their own unique personality, and I do not judge on this channel whatever type of lifestyle or, traits you have, whatever floats your boat. But if they try to publicly humiliate you, you need to call them out on this, because first of all, when you're the pretty girl, people are going to defend you, especially, if there are non-jealous women and men around. Like, you definitely want to, like, some of them, they're trying to do things directly, sometimes indirectly, whatever it is, but you always want to call it out. And I'll call it out, like, I won't call it out aggressively personally. I'll call it out and make them feel stupid. Like, oh, like, is this, I don't even want to get into how I will react to that because I have story times to tell, because I've had certain things happen to me and I always put my foot down and they don't come at me like that again. They try to be more discreet with the ways that they try to like neg me and stuff. So, you know, I will call it out. And the ways that they will try to humiliate you is, for one, they'll try to berate you for like a very small mistake. And it's like, I never know if it's just because they are so obsessed with perfection that their small mistakes are really big to them. And so it's just natural for them to amplify really small mistakes, or if they're just doing it to you because you're a hater. But for me, I'm the type of person where it's like, if I trip and fall, if I have lipstick on my teeth, if I miscalculate something, if I type something in wrong at the office, if I print something wrong, if I, you know, make a mistake with a new meal that I'm trying, if I'm trying to pronounce something and I pronounce it wrong or whatever, I'm just going to laugh that off, and I'm going to call probably more attention to it. I don't feel awkward and embarrassed and like, oh my God, I messed up. Now I can never be full of personality again. Now I can never work at this job again. Now I can never, you know, wear makeup again because I got lipstick on my teeth this one day. I won't talk for the rest of the party, the rest of the hangout, because I had some lipstick on my teeth, or I had a piece of spinach in between my teeth. I'm going to make a joke most likely. I'm going to fix it. You know, I might excuse myself if I need to. I always keep like a compact mirror with me. So I'll just, you know, fix it there if I need to, or go to the, you know, go powder my nose, whatever. But to me, little mistakes or imperfections are not a huge deal to me. But to them, they'll try to amplify it. And it always is weird because it's like, in your little world, in your little bubble, you're like, oh, I tripped, you know, ha, that's so funny. The ground went in a hug, so that's why I tripped, or something like that. And then with Sharon's, they just want to make it like a big deal, in the sense of just trying to make it seem like you're like the most clumsy, you're like the most idiotic, you're just like the craziest, whatever type of person, because they're just so obsessed with you having a flaw that they're just like, oh my God, like, I need to really soak this moment in of the pretty girl having a flaw. So another way they'll try to publicly humiliate you is like, they'll try to make you look incompetent. Like, they will try and make it seem like you're not as efficient or as good at your job or as good at just knowing things or being knowledgeable, whatever it is. They just want to invalidate you. They cannot handle you being beautiful and competent and creative and magnetic and alluring and classy and, you know, charismatic. And they can't handle all of these things that you have going for yourself. So they want to try to magnify your mistakes, they want to make other people question your competence. So for me, I'll like ask a question and I'll be like, is that typically how you respond to situations like that? Like, I'll just call it right out, especially if somebody's just like going crazy. I will just kind of like be very calm and like lower my voice lower than theirs and be like, really just make them feel like, let's rewind. Let's think, are we both adults here? Is there any reason that you're acting like that? And make them feel stupid, because see, they're trying to make you feel stupid. Why can you not respond back and be like, okay, no, I'm just going to flip this on you? Why can you not do that? So that's another way they'll try to publicly humiliate you. Or that's another way that they will react to you leveling up. They'll try to publicly humiliate you. Another one is they do this weird thing where like they're always trying to triangulate you against someone else. They'll like deliberately always not compliment you and simultaneously be negging you and trying to like take little digs or backhanded compliments and stuff to you. And then they'll be trying to come up with this other person who like they'll be wanting to call somebody else pretty or smart or fit or competent. Like, it's weird because they think their opinion is so important and they're going to like try very hard to not validate you. And like, they try so hard to do this, you won't even be talking about somebody, you won't ask somebody, they're always going to try to manipulate a conversation, you know, or talk to you when you're not even giving much energy to the conversation and keep it going. You know how like you're talking to somebody and you want them to stop talking, so you're like, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. These people, like Sharon's, they will, even with you giving absolutely nothing as far as energy to extend a conversation, they're going to be like it's on their to-do list. Your planner is like, eat a pretty girl salad, eat a pretty girl smoothie, do a pretty girl workout, do some Pilates or whatever, work on learning, Portuguese, work on learning French, whatever. Go to the bar, go get a free drink, go get a compliment. Their planner is literally like, find a way to tell a story to this pretty girl about somebody else who's pretty. Like I'm going to sneak this into the conversation somehow, and they'll find a way to just loop it around. And it sometimes will get to the point where it's so obvious, and mentally you can just know what's going on with that person, and you can decide to not give them much more time because I'm going to go where I'm celebrated. And if you are deliberately not celebrating me and celebrating someone else, because I'm going to celebrate people that I'm around, so it's not going to be a one way. I'm just celebrating you and you're not celebrating me, and putting in extra effort to celebrate somebody else every time you talk to me. Yeah, I'm not going to keep talking to you. You won't see me anymore. But another thing they'll do when you start leveling up is, so this one, they'll make these weird unprovoked statements about their values. And this kind of goes like, I feel like if you have nothing to hide, what's the point of wearing makeup? Oh, I just feel like nobody should wear makeup. I just feel like it's so bad for you. I just feel like there's so many other things you could be doing with your time. I just feel like, men should take you swimming on the first date because, I just feel like makeup is so deceptive. Or I just hate those girls who feel like the man just has to pay for everything. And like, I hate women who just, they just want to use men, and they're really gold diggers. Like, why can't you just, I work hard for my money. I can spend my own money and I can trick on him, it can be 50-50. I have no issue. Like, they'll just keep going on and on about their beliefs and their values, unprovoked. Nobody asked, nobody cared, nobody wants to know. But when you start to level up, they want to sneak it into your subconscious to try to invalidate or make it seem like things that you're doing are immoral, they're bad, they're evil, they're selfish, they're sneaky, they're this, that, and the third. They're going to try to find a way to create a hierarchy of people like you and people who are like them. You're vain, they're not. They're down to earth. You are, selfish. They give to everyone so freely. So they just want to let you know, but they won't be direct and say, see, I don't know why you do blah, 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 blah. It'll be, well, I just feel. And it's like, it's them trying to be backhanded. And, the kicker is you don't care about how they feel about anything because you don't want to be like them. You don't want their body. You don't want their face. You don't want their diet. You don't want their bank account. You don't want their relationship. You don't want anything they have, so, but, they just want to volunteer that information. So the last thing I want to cover in this part 2 video to how Sharons will react to you leveling up, which I already kind of covered it, but it is that they will talk about you. Oh my gosh. Like, there's been so many times where before I had a different perspective about it. So now I think of it more so of having like a friendship type. Exoticals United has talked about this, like the type of friends you like. I like friends who are like me. They're bougie like me. They're selfish like me. They invest in themselves like me. They are leveling up like me. I don't, there's been times that I was just in a situational, environment with a Sharon and was just like, okay, let me try to make this work. Let me try to make this shake. And it does not work. Like, as much as you will try, like I've tried to have like self-depreciating humor or try to expose my flaws to make myself seem like, you really shouldn't envy me. Like not to be like conceited, but if it's somebody where I feel like, okay, well, just by objective standards, this person could potentially, just off superficial things, end up being jealous of me, I will try to dim my light around them because I'm like, hey, please don't send smoke my way because I don't have time for that. There's no amount of doing that that's going to stop a Sharon from hating on you, because this is the thing: a person is either overweight and happy with being overweight, which like I just don't really think that exists, but I don't know. Maybe y'all let me know down below. You think some people are overweight and love it, but I think that people can be overweight and actively trying to change it. And then I think there are people who are experiencing cognitive dissonance where they're overweight, they're acting like they don't care about it, but they actually hate skinny people and they hate fit people. And they're secretly eating salads and they're secretly doing 5Ks and they're secretly drinking apple cider vinegar and they're secretly going to the gym, but they want to make it seem like, oh, I'm not vain and selfish like that. That's a stupid thing to care about, but they care about it on the low. You can't be friends with Sharons because they're going to be talking about you. Like you are the celebrity in their life. If their life is not interesting enough, if they're not investing enough time and energy into their goals, into their passions, and you're just like a walking, talking celebrity. You're like a walking, talking, what's the word I'm thinking of, soap opera. Like you're just like a star, you're just like a show. And when they want entertainment in their life, when they're sitting down talking to their dusty boyfriend, or they're talking to their dusty sister, or their dusty, coworker, their dusty neighbor, the only thing that they can think about to talk about is you. And so just because you by nature, you just have more things going on. Even if you are the type of woman who keeps your mouth shut, they will still be talking about like, oh yeah, she was wearing blonde hair this week. And oh yeah, she's dressing like this now. And oh yeah, she did her makeup. And oh yeah, she ate a salad. And oh yeah, she was drinking some bone broth. Like it's like it's just news. It is news. You are news. When you change your hair, it is breaking news. When you are eating some peppers and some hummus, that is breaking news to a Sharon. So you decide how you feel about that. If you enjoy being around people who just talk about you all the time. And often you can actually notice this because when you're around Sharons, typically part of their personality is that they're talking about other people. So if you're smart, you'll just connect the dots and be like, wow, I don't know that person that you're talking about, but I feel like I know so much about them because you stay talking about them. Okay, I'm going to do as much as I can to tell you as little as possible, and I'm just going to not get attached to you. I'm not going to give energy to you or give you information about myself because I know that I am not just like the special person that you're not talking about. You talk about people, you talk about everybody. So you are talking about me. And I'm leveling up, so I'm giving you a lot to talk about. I am serving looks. I am taking social risks. I'm pulling off black hair, pulling off brown hair, pulling off red hair, pulling off blonde hair. I'm trying coquette style. Okay, and now I'm wearing a corset. Okay, and now I look like a princess. Okay, and now I look like a goth, and I look sexy in all of these styles, and I look so cute. And this day I look pretty, and this day I look hot, and this day I look gorgeous, and this day I look stunning. Like, of course I'm giving you stuff to talk about. So that's the last way that I wanted to cover that. Sharons will react to you leveling up. They're going to talk about you. Because if they don't talk about you, what else will they talk about? Their dusty relationship, their dusty body, their dusty life? Like, come on. So what do you think, ladies? Is there a Sharon in your life? Have you ever been a Sharon? Let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, ladies, eyes on the prize.